guys, so this will be Tales from the Hood 3. I think, yeah, what's today? Yeah, today's Tuesday, so it's not gonna be too crazy out. Right now during December, like I'm busy, crazy with the kids and the wife, and working a lot of overtime and just, you know, busy. But so that's why, you know, usually I like to do the Tales from the Hood on the weekends. It's really busy out and whatnot, but sorry, it's not right now. Not too bad anyways, I don't know, we'll see. Where I'm going to right now is, you know, like I said, my mom, if you remember for the last two, she always had a job, even though she was real gangster, you know. Well, what's going on? You know, but we moved around a lot. What the hell's that noise? How you doing? Rev it? Oh, I'll rev it. Anyways, so we moved around a lot, and sorry. And you know, from apartment to apartment, from city to city. Like I lived in, let's see, before I guess I turned maybe 14, I lived in Silmar, Mission Hills, Northridge, Glendale, Tahunga, and where else? Panorama, Arleta, Coima. So, you know, we moved around a lot. And you didn't want that. And you know, moving around a lot, I never really got to meet a lot of friends or make friends. And it was tough, you know, it was tough growing up. Like having to move around and going, you know, from house to house or apartment to apartment. But this is one of the areas I lived in as a kid. So down here where I'm going, I moved here when I was really young, and also when I got a little bit older, I guess, I don't know, maybe like in the 4th or 5th grade. This is a mall up over here on the right hand side. I'll go to drive through or ride through the parking lot. Yes, go ahead, pull up in front of me, it's all good. I don't know what your malls are like in some of your areas, but like this mall's not normal. Like, you know, like I said, I don't live out here, I live in different, you know, Santa Clarita Valley, but they have some like off the wall stores up in here. This ain't no zombie apocalypse mall, it's busy. I think they even got a Walmart down here now. But I remember as a kid, me and my cousin, we would walk down here and walk through the mall and shit. It was pretty plain, right? I mean, well, got the Popo, what a surprise. Shopping carts, that's new. Yep, a Walmart. And look, more Popos. A lot of cops out here. It's pretty busy for a Tuesday, right? I think so. I don't know. So growing up with my mom, like I said, she's always had a job. She was always a hard worker. I don't remember her dating a lot of guys when I was living with her. Like I lived with her, like I said, my parents got divorced. So I lived with her all the way up to the age of 13 or 14 when I was legally allowed to say where I wanted to live, or I wanted to live with my dad. It's kind of sucked because, you know, I don't know what happened. I don't know why my mom wouldn't let me see my dad. There would be times where, you know, I get to go see my dad every other weekend, and that's what I look forward to, you know, like you know, I love my dad. I miss my dad. My dad was cool. Look, here's a zombie apocalypse kind of mall. You know, I guess if my dad didn't pay her child support, my mom wouldn't let me see. I remember one time standing at the top of the stairs and my dad was down there like at the bottom, like, you know, trying to take me, but my mom's like, you didn't pay the child support or on time or enough. And I was devastated, you know, like, I always wanted to go with my pops and hang out with my dad. Here's another area where I lived, and it's fucking busy. But like I said, I don't remember my mom dating. She only dated one guy, and at that time I didn't know it was her boyfriend. Like, I just thought he was a dude that lived with us, but he always treated me really good. Like, I remember him picking me up from school, and it was our tradition every time after school, he would you know, buy me a soda and a snack before we went home. And his name was Michael, but I called him Rocky, just because he kind of looked like Rocky. And that nickname stuck with him forever. He even has it to this day now. And it's pretty cool. I don't know, I gave him that nickname. But I do remember, you know, when my mom and they would drink, they would get into like fist fights. Like, my mom would full on like swing and slug them and, you know, punch them, bite them, give them a black eye, and he never hit her back. Like, he would hold her down, he would push her back, he'd be like, you know, you're crazy, chill out, like, relax. You know, that's not right. You know, you're doing this in front of your son. And it was you know, a pattern every week. And the second my mom would start to drink, it would be, you know, there's only been twice where my mom really beat me up. And that was tough. You know, as a kid, you guys, I'm sure, can relate, you know, like, your parents are supposed to love you and, you know, take care of you, and, you know, but my mom beat me up pretty bad to where when I went to school, they called the cops. It was a, you know, it was a mess. And of course, as a kid, you don't want to say anything. Like, I didn't say anything, but I had marks on my back. I had a black eye, and I'm not trying to justify it, but I think the black eye was from when she was beating me. I fell and hit the corner post of my bed, and that's where I got the black eye from. But that was like a whole mess, that situation. It just sucked, you know. That's your mom, you know. And to this day, you know, it's been like 3 years since I've talked to my mom or I've seen her. She didn't even go to my wedding. Like, my wedding, I even called her the day of and said, are you sure you're not coming? You know, this is someone that you would think your mom would want to go. So when I called her, she was like, no, I don't, it's too late, I'm not gonna go, you know. And that kind of sucked. But, you know, I haven't spoken to her in the last 2 or 3 years. But as far as, you know, her and her boyfriend fighting, it was it's hard to explain, you guys. I know some of you guys can relate to this. You get scared as a kid, but you're not in fear, I guess, when they're fighting. I would remember I would have to go hide all the knives and scissors from my mom. I would literally go into the kitchen, hide them, put them away, keep them away from her and him from fighting. And it just wasn't fun having to do that as a kid. And this was after a weekend of like them partying or whatnot. Like, they would come home on like a Saturday. We'd come Saturday morning and they'd be like coked out and high. And I remember like having to cook my own breakfast and my own top ramen noodles, and it sucked. Where I'm going right now, so I lived here as a kid, right? And hopefully I don't get hit. So right here I lived in these apartments. I lived in this corner apartment, and you see the barbed wire. That barbed wire wasn't there, and that was just a regular fence. But as a kid, I remember like getting up at 2 in the morning, and some guy like climbed up on this fence, used that rock, and reached his hand up around that window and was climbing through the window. And like I froze and I yelled, and the guy took off. But it was weird to see a guy peeking up from that window right there. I lived over here. I'm right by Northridge. If you guys know anything about Northridge, there was a huge earthquake back in the 90s, and this is where I lived. It hit us really hard. It was scary. My door slammed shut right here. That's crazy. It's weird coming back here. My door slammed shut and I couldn't get out. It was pretty freaky. Like, my mom was screaming, yelling for me, but she only made it worse by screaming. It was just, I was like, shut up! And, hello! The the street that we're on right now, it's called Sepulveda, but a lot of people call it Sepulveda. I'm trying to find the bar. So this bar, the apartment I just showed you, there's a bar right behind it. I think this is it right here. I think, oh, they shut it down. Wow. I guess the reason why they oh no, wait. It's over here. Let's see. So that street, as you can see the name, a lot of people call it Sepulveda. I don't know if you guys can read it, it's kind of far, but it's Sepulveda. A lot of hookers and like motels that you can rent by the hour and shit over here. Isn't it funny like how some areas just never change? Like the smell when you go back, like it takes you back to that certain memory. This was another spot. I hated living here. Oh, I hated it. It looks a lot better than it was before. I don't know about all these colors, but I hated living in here, man. I'm pretty sure you don't want to come down here at night either, but it doesn't look too bad. There's not a lot of graffiti anymore, but I didn't like living down here at all. It was loud. This is where, you know, our heater didn't work. Like, this shit never worked. Like, I remember this was another place where I would have to turn the oven on and just to get warm and lay on the kitchen floor. It just sucked, man. I just fucking hated it. You know, there'd be times where I didn't have any heat, you know, or my mom would go out and we'd just be chill. Like, I was like 9 years old, 10 years old, just hanging out here with a bunch of grown-ass adults and watching them make their drug deals and show off their guns and smoking and like drinking their 40s, you know. And like, as a kid, you still don't comprehend that. You don't understand what any of that means or what any of that is, you know. You just go with it. It's just your environment. You become a product of it, and hopefully, and I'm glad that I didn't, you know. But I'm just glad I don't live out here anymore. I'm really glad I don't live out here anymore. Alright guys, so I put a few things together. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this quick vlog, or this vlog, this Tales from the Hood. I'll probably do another one out here, somewhere around where I grew up. And then the next one I'm going to do, you guys, I'm going to go to East LA. That's where my dad grew up, in East LA. Now that's going to be, that place is rough. That's where a lot of gangs, like big gangs that you hear on the news and TV, and they make, you know, shows for. I'll get out there and you guys should like that one. That one's like straight ghetto hood. It'll be fun. There's a haunted cemetery up here, but a haunted, it's a hill, right? And apparently if you put your car in neutral and you put powder, baby powder on the back of your car will start to push, and you'll see fingerprints. They say it's haunted. I cannot think of the name of it. I bet you if you guys pull up Lakeview Terrace, California, haunted hill, haunted street, something will come up on it. Maybe I'll take you guys there. All right, other than that, make sure you guys like and subscribe, and I'm out. Peace.